dee 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 dee. Hi folks, welcome. It is the 24th of July. I'm actually in the middle of making a batch of teapots. So I've just made this one. The truth is I got an order for about 10 of these teapots, but they don't want to be greater than to hold a pint of tea. So I'm kind of like feeling my way. This particular one is 24 ounces, so £1.50. Usually I make teapots, I usually make them a couple of pounds, but because this one's going to be a little smaller. What have I been doing? A few tea bowls here. That I knocked off the other day. Paddled. I had a Zoom workshop with some folks from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and we kind of I threw these on that workshop. We had 12-13 people. That was very successful. It went very well. So yeah, these were thrown 15 ounces. This particular one was that one was combed and then expanded, just with a regular hair comb, you know. This guy. First throw it like cylindrical, like that guy there, say for example, and whisk this up the side all the way around, and then expand it. Yeah, that's the cylinder I came across. Just a regular cylinder that was actually made. It was made in Spain. I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe something like that. 13 years ago. And that this particular stoneware does not have very much iron in it at all. That's fired in reduction with a Celadon glaze over. It can look quite nice though, I think, just a straight cylinder done like that, faceted, with a, you know, one of those things that you find at a yard sale. Haha. Where is he? Where is he? You know what I mean. Of course I can't find it when I want to show it to you. This is up here. You know, it's a cheese slice thing, you know. One of them. Oh, here it is. Ha ha ha. One of those guys. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, teapots. Teapots is the name of the game today. Yeah, so what I've got to do is I've got to throw a spout and a lid for that. Meanwhile, over here, I actually had another Zoom class this morning with a guy down in Carolina, South Carolina, and he wanted to know how to make lids. So we made this kind of. He did his online, and I did mine. Well, he did his in down there. I did mine up here. So I've got to fit that. That lid's got to be fitted up. It's a little tight at the minute. That's all right. Better tight than loose. So I'm doing something which I always say don't do. Put your pots directly in the sun. So I wanted to get it dried off rather quick. So I'm not, now it's been out there, I'm just going to put it here, and I'll tend to that later. As far as teapots concerned, yeah, I've just got some teapots here to show you actually. I don't make many teapots because we're not a tea drinking nation, really, are we, here in the US particularly? But I know some people are. So these haven't been fired yet. This is an example of a side handle teapot. These actually they pour very nicely. They're well balanced because the handle is in the center of the pot on the axis where you pour. Yeah, that one, and then this one is slightly different. It's got a little design on the handle there where you hold it. So as I got the teapots out here, I brought some tea bowls out to show you too, with some hakame on. And then these teapots, these actually I made them a little while ago. These are salt glaze. Being salt glaze, they had to have the lids fired separately. You can see where the wads were, which I don't really like doing, to be honest. I like firing lids in situ. It's a good tip. Fire your lids in situ. Don't fire them separate from the pot. You really want to fire them. Anyway, these are like cane handle teapots. I mean, these would be like £2 teapots, and these are too big for that order that I have, 10 teapots. And this one is like scalloped on the outside. Even scalloped the spout, if you can see. So anyway, just thought I'd show you them. But now what we've got to do is I've got to make a lid for that guy and a spout if we have time. Let's see. Let us see. So if you're going to make a lid for something, don't cut it off and then decide to measure it. Measure before you cut off, okay? So what we're going to do is here, I'm going to widen that out like that. Okay, that's about right. Okie dokie. Just cut him off. These, I will trim this. I'll put him over there. Now, somewhere here. Hopefully I've got some clay, yes. Well, I don't need all that, do I? It's quite a small lid, that, so I'm not going to need more than... Yeah, I reckon that's going to make it. But we'll take a bit more. Just to be sure. You don't want to be... So I cut straight off there the teapot. I don't need to clean that pad away, okay? Surprising number of people still are having to scrape off this. Really, you don't need to do that. Okay? Never again need you do that. Never again. Right, I'm going to throw a lid. I don't know if we can get some... Because it's a small lid, I want to get a bit of... So you can see it. So we're going to come in a little bit just so you get the... Alright. It's a hot one today, but we're still drinking hot tea. Cup of green tea. Green matcha tea. Alright. So, these little lumps of clay are a bit of a pig to center, aren't they? So So at the moment he's sort of a little bit like a small mushroom, isn't he? But see, we don't have to be very big. Right, so with this kind of lid we're just going to split the clay like that, you see, by pushing down. And I'm going to form the knob there. You want to undercut the knob though, so that he's easy to pick up. Now, just going to pull this out here. Whoa. Already there, I clearly had too much clay there, really. But that's okay. So at the moment that's plenty wide enough, but he's sitting up too tall, he's too high, you know. But most of the clay that is excess is actually underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut him off something. So the way I'm cutting off is I'm not putting the cut-off wire down on the wheel head flat like that. I'm raising him up, you see that? So we're just going to pull across like that. There he is. Now I may just trim the bottom of that lid. Okay, put him down there. Now we need to make a spout. So leaving that piece of clay that is there, I'm just going to add a bit more to it and have a drink of tea. Are we in the picture? Oh yeah. Okay. Right, spoutifications. I have a particular rib that I like when I do spouts. Okay, let's center this guy, much like the other. Bit small. So if you want to make a spout, first consideration is the width of the spout, where it's going to attach to your teapot. So I'm just flattening this and widening it a little bit, you see, like that. And now I'm going to break in, okay, all the way to the wheel head. Alright, and now I'm pushing this finger in underneath. At the same time I'm squeezing here with my thumb between that finger, you see? and pinching and lifting and coning. Pinching, lifting and coning. Okay, right down into the corner down there. Okay, and now pulling up. This is a good exercise in coning your clay. At the moment, just concentrate on getting a nice curve here. Okay, don't worry that the top is going up and down, because it probably will be. Now I'm using this technique where I'm squeezing the clay between these 6 fingers, okay? It's a constriction move. Alright, and there it is, just constricting it. Now I'm going back here to get the curve right. Because you see, a lot of the gracefulness of a teapot, part of the gracefulness of a teapot is in the spout. Is in the nice graceful curve of the spout. So you want to take a bit of care about that. Right, now it's helpful to have something, which I don't have, something to stick down inside the spout. Well, I'm using my sponge stick handle. Now if you don't have that, you can use your pinky finger, put that down inside like that, with a finger on the outside like that. That works quite well as well. So it's basically, as you cone in the clay, it thickens up, you see, but then you've got to lift up that clay don't make the spout too small, otherwise the tea won't pour. So I'm now using this This is a real good technique. I call it 6 points of contact. You can do a lot with that in pottery. Trust me. I can take you a long way. So using my finger pushing against the stick as a means of raising up the clay there. Alright, now the fact that the top is going up and down, it absolutely matters nothing, because we're going to cut the spout anyway. Alright, now let's go back to using this tool. I'm going to use this tool now just to clean that a bit like that. Pull back some of this water on the wheel head there. So I haven't made a spout in some time, I tell you. Yeah, but once you learn how to do these things, you don't forget, do you? So what I've done is I've basically just cleaned it off. Ugh. Till I did that. Till I did that. That's all right. All is not lost. Okay, well, I've thrown better spouts, but there you go. I'm really looking for a nice graceful looking spout. I want to get the slurry off the spout because I've got to lift it off the wheel, and I can't have it all slippery and wet. There it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, we're going to cut him off. I'm going to put these onto a bat. It's useful to use a bat if you've got a teapot, you've got a spout, you've got the body. Let's pull this camera back a bit. Something like that. Right, let's put that there. It's not very clean, is it? Make sure it's clean. Right, what I'm going to do is let's put that teapot body there. The lid, I'm going to put there. Now the spout, how are we going to get that off? That could be awkward, couldn't it? We're just going to grab it like that. You don't believe me? Okay. There he is. Carefully put him down there. Oh, I bent him out of shape a bit there. That's okay, he'll be alright. He will be okay. Okay, so there you have it. A teapot body, a spout and a lid. They will all have to be, when they're leather hard, fitted up. Now I'm going to do something on this particular teapot here. I had the idea that I was going to make an indentation here, sort of round about here. I was effectively going to push the side of the teapot in right there. And then I was going to put the handle across that indentation. So it would move the point of lifting the teapot, because this is going to be a side handle teapot, so that the point of lifting is not out here on the outside, it's closer to the center. Closer you get to the center, the better it feels to pour. It's like, I'll tell you what, it's like, where is that mug? Here's this mug. It's just to explain to you what I'm talking about. You see what I did there? I indented the side there, then put the handle across the indentation. So now the handle is, you can see the indentation inside there. The handle is closer to the center. That mug, it might look a bit uglier because it ran in the kiln, the glaze, and it stuck to the shelf, but it might not look that pretty, but I tell you, it's a very, not only is it gives you plenty of space for your finger to get around there, but it's very, very comfortable because it's well balanced, you see. Well, that's the same idea that we're going to do here with this teapot. We're going to make an indentation so that the handle, but with a teapot, you see, because when it's full of tea, it's heavier, so you want to make it feel good in the hand. Alright, hey, thanks for joining us, people, folks, YouTube, whatever they say. Appreciate you stopping by, and if you want to have a Zoom lesson, I recommend them. Basically, I did have it so that they were like $30, and then people just sign up, but that was the idea, was that they would be like a group session, but then I was ending up just teaching for $30 for an hour and a bit, a class. So in fact, what I'm going to do is make them 45. So they're going to be $45. That will give you a good hour. A good hour. We make sure you get your time, and you'll probably get a little bit more than that, which I think is reasonable. Quite frankly, very reasonable. But anyway, that's all right. I'd rather have lots of people and lots of interest rather than not have anybody, because it's charging too much, you know. So if that's something that interests you, you can go to my website. I'm going to be changing from the third where it says 30 bucks. Forget that. I'm just going to say special rates will apply if there's, like, you know, a bunch of people. Like this one we just did the other day was 30 bucks. We had 12 people. 30 bucks. I was doing demonstration and questions and answers and that kind of thing. That was good. It was a good time. That was a good session. Yes. So that's on details on the website. Apart from that, yeah, I am running workshops here. I've got a workshop. What is it now? Gosh, there's so many workshops have been re-established and then nullified again. I'm not sure if I'm teaching any workshops in August. We were going to have one in beginning of August, and then we only had one person on it, so I cancelled it. Heidi Joffrey, I think she was called, and I wrote to her, but she never responded. If you're listening, Heidi, check your email or contact me, please, because I was trying to cancel that one with you. Other than that, I think that's it. We keep practicing. Good. I hope that was helpful for you today. Join me for putting this teapot together. Bye for now.